Welcome to our 250 acre farm. My name is Orion, this is my mum, and together we are going to be building a campsite in an effort to diversify the land. Oh, and by the way, we have absolutely no idea what we're doing, so make sure you hit subscribe and follow along every single Wednesday and Sunday as we learn how to do everything from scratch. Today we begin planning, which means figuring out exactly where we want the campsite to go, the requirements to open a campsite and the restrictions that creates. And oh my, have we picked an absolutely stunning day to do it. Now before we start deciding where we're going to be building our campsite, there are certain rules and regulations that we have to follow in order to open. Those things come with restrictions like planning permission, which can cost an absolute fortune and a long time to get approved. Fortunately, not everything is completely lost. As it turns out, with very minimal rules, you can actually pop up a campsite for 60 days of the year. So we're starting off small, and that is exactly what we're going to do. Right now, I am stood at the crossroads of 4 fields where we could potentially build our campsite. This is option number 1, currently being used to grow turnips, but this is a lovely 2-acre field that's relatively flat with an absolutely stunning view. Now you may be thinking that this field is a perfect place to start. It's only 2 acres, the views are absolutely gorgeous here, however, we are completely off-grid. And whilst that is a huge bonus for a campsite, one of the main drawbacks of opening a pop-up is that there has to be access to a toilet, and that toilet has to be removed when it is no longer a campsite. So if we decided to put a toilet block right there, when we close the campsite, we would have to take that toilet block and move it off-site. So that got me thinking, why don't we put it on wheels? Now I thought I'd hit gold, absolutely genius idea. We just build a toilet, put it on wheels and roll it away when we close the campsite. However, there are more restrictions. For opening up a pop-up, we would need to have at least 3 female toilets, 2 men's toilets and 1 urinal. We'd also need to start digging up the ground to build a cesspit for all of the waste from the toilets to go. At this point, we may as well just start wishing our money away. But we're not giving up yet. There are 2 more fields that are actually closer to the farm with access to a cesspit and electric. So let's head in the car and go check them out. Welcome to option number 2. This field is much larger and it is actually where my mum got married. Our original thought for this field was to turn it into events where we could host weddings, tractor pulling, lots of cool activities that people could come and visit. And honestly, it's so large you could probably do both. To me, this feels like the prime location to put the pop-up. However, this is a double-edged sword because whilst we are closer to home for electric hookup, the cesspit and so on, we're also close to home, which means all the customers will be right in eyeshot of the house. This field is actually on the roadside and it's near the horses, which adds even further complications to using this field. Otherwise, it would be the perfect place to go. If we do a quick 180, I present option number 3. Without a doubt, the absolute crown jewel of the farm. The view from this plot of land is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at it. Imagine waking up to that every day. And at this point, you're probably beginning to notice a trend with, hey, all right, what's the issue with this field? Well, unfortunately, the field slopes down. And as much as I want to lie on my side and start rolling down this hill, the last thing you want to do when you're camping is lie on a slant. On the plus side, the top edge is actually quite level. And as I have a lot of friends that don't really do camping, they do glamping, that led me on to my next idea. Why not build luxury glamping pods here so you can actually wake up to the beautiful view? And let's be honest, you don't really want to ruin this entire view with caravans and tents everywhere. So I say we leave it as it is so I can continue to sit on the fence, enjoy the view and go sledging when it snows. And if that's not a better option for the field, I don't know what is. But before we get too carried away with all of these crazy ideas, let's take a stroll and check out our 4th and final option. This is the largest field out of the 4 and highly regarded as the prettiest of the lot. And it is originally where we wanted to put the campsite. Almost everything about this field is perfect. It is perfectly level. The grass is coming through, the views are absolutely stunning, and there is electricity from the grid that runs straight through the middle. And as nice as it would be to spur off that electricity, it could cost anywhere in the region of £60,000. It's a good job I went and got that £20 because we're going to need it. Unfortunately, I think this field is a little out of our league. It would cost too much money to get electricity, it would cost too much money to build the toilets, have them on wheels and so on. it just doesn't make sense, which is why I think that doing a pop-up to begin and starting off small is the right way to go. And no, it's not perfect. It does invade our privacy a little bit, but I think option number 2 probably makes the most sense. I would actually love to hear your guys' feedback in the comments down below as to which field would you choose, considering how much it's going to cost to do each of those options. Let me know down below. Sorry, I had to interrupt that clip. That sounded so strange. But as we are doing this completely from scratch, your feedback is key and we would love to hear it. So if you have any ideas, then make sure you leave a comment. Which field would you pick and why? No matter which field we decide to choose, there is still a lot to be done in preparation to even open. One of them is building a road so cars can even get there. And speaking of cars, this is where we plan to build the car park, which means clearing off some of this mound and prettying it up, shifting all of the materials that have been left here, bringing a brand new fence line in from the shop all the way across and straight down, resurfacing the floor, and so much more. Once we have done the road and the car park, we are going to be converting that into our reception, which, much like the garage I converted, needs a lot of work. We need to start with the floor, as it has seen better days and it could do with a good level surface. Once we've done that, we'll get all the walls, windows and ceilings done so we can start to decorate. Our vision for this space is to have a bar that comes across here with racking similar to this but upgraded to store all the things that you need to direct a customer to the campsite. After we have renovated the interior, we need to focus on the exterior and making it look all nice, because at the moment there's a lot of stuff that's kind of been left around. The grass needs cutting, the trim needs to be fixed, as well as benches to be removed. And that also means doing my mum's favourite thing, paving the floor. Bet you can't wait for that one. Whilst we're on the topic of clearing out, there is so much to shift in this mound alone. From old hay bales to metalwork, machinery, all of the nettles. Beneath the nettles, there's actually tons of tyres. This will be a monster job in its own, but one which I am welcoming with open arms, because it means I get to learn how to drive a tractor, a digger, a dumper, all sorts of machinery to actually do this job. I genuinely can't wait to see what this place looks like in a year. But at last, I can finally relax. It has been so much talking, conversations, negotiations, ideas that we have just discussed internally between ourselves before I decided to make this video and share them with yourselves. It's going to be a little bit of time now before we actually focus down on this, because at the present time of recording, I'm in the process of having a baby and moving house and renovating that. So there is a lot going on in my life, but I hope you are excited to see what comes in the new year with all things related to the campsite. I mean, just getting to work with a view like that is going to be good in itself. It's also worth mentioning at this point that this video may have felt a little bit different than usual, and it's because I am making a conscious effort to increase and better the quality of my videos. For the course of this year, from renovating the flat to building a conservatory to converting a garage, I've taken on so many projects, and there's so many more projects to come, that I really wanted to change and adapt the way I do my vlog. So if you've enjoyed the new style, then please do let me know in the comments down below. I would really appreciate the feedback. I'm always trying to make the videos better, not necessarily bigger like this project promises to be. God, it feels like there's a nuke going on in the background, but yeah, I hope you did enjoy it, because it's taken me a long time to make this video. But as I take one more step towards this gorgeous view and sunset, I would like to thank you all so much for watching my content over this year. It has been insane, and honestly, my life is so stressful at the moment with what is going on. I know you guys have been following along, and it promises to be all okay in the end. I'm kind of thinking positively, and bringing you guys along for the journey means a lot. So thank you so much to everyone who is watching. As I said, I'm going to be changing up the content a little bit and trying to formulate things into series. I actually got posed a question the other day of, hey, I'm new to your channel, where do I start? And I was like, I don't really know, because I kind of just film week by week. So I'm going to try and make series. So if you tune into the campsite, you can go back, watch the playlist and watch me do the entire thing from beginning to end, alongside renovating the house and everything else that I've got going on. So if you have enjoyed this video, guys, please do leave it a thumbs up rating. I'd appreciate it. If you're excited, then make sure you hit subscribe. But as always, it's been Orion. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, peace, much love. Bye-bye. Test, test, test. and the restrictions that My name is Orion, this is my mum, and in an effort to